We got big breaking crypto news coming in as a vote is scheduled for Monday in regards to the stablecoin bill. We're talking Genius Act, along with a crypto hater from the CFTC resigning. We'll talk price action along with...
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Now I know what you're thinking. Whoa, Klaus, a vote on Monday? Yeah, the vote would be for cloture on Monday, but remember, if it passes the Senate, it still has to go to the House, where the House could poo-poo it. But I'll share the details with you, along with some other details, and we're going to talk about the market a little bit. But before we get into that, what do? Do we rip on Picoin a little bit because it's dumping even more? No. We did that earlier today. We're not going to do that again. We're going to do your comments. Why? Because you, the viewer, matter most. Right Out says, Que onda, Klaus? Viva Guatemala. Viva Guate is right. I spent 4 weeks there earlier. I'm going there again later, and I might even go there again. I might even go there 3 more times this year. Why? Because Guatemala kicks major ass. So thank you, Right Out. And seriously, Guatemala's freaking awesome. You ever get a chance, go there. And there's a restaurant in Guatemala City, in Zona Cuatro, that's for all you English speakers out there, called Mercado 24. Go there, freaking awesome restaurant. Honky Tonk 75 says, Crosstown baseball today, buddy. We agree on most things, but I bleed Cubby Blue. Thanks for all you do. Appreciate your channel greatly. I got it on the TV over there. That's right. White Sox versus Cubs. There's some Yankees Mets going on. Yeah, I know. The Cubs are winning right now. Sox suck. I get it. Rip on me all you want. It's the Crosstown Classic, baby. Baseball fans, comment down below who's your team. Francis St. Harper says, please like Klaus's videos. I would love to see his subs over 100,000. I would appreciate that. Drop me a like, drop me a sub. I love it. The more people seeing his work, the more informed we will all be. Thanks, Klaus. Well, thank you, Francis Zane Harper. I appreciate it. Bitcoin sitting at 100,984. ETH at 2589. XRP is 242. What BNB is at 649. Sol at 171. While 8 is at 77 cents. Look, giving you a little bit of warning this weekend, price action-wise. BTC is a bit range-bound. Volume seems pretty steady. I'm not seeing anything super bullish bumming out this weekend. I think we're going to be pretty range-bound around here. Just let's keep our eyes open. Don't worry. Hit that notification bell. You don't have to watch the charts. All you got to do is look for the little alert thing. Because if news breaks, I will bring it to you. But first things first, the CFTC's Christy Goldsmith Romero, yeah, a Democrat, stepping down May 31st as the commissioner exodus continues. That's right. Romero, one of the top officials at the CFTC, said her last day will be May 31st. Let the door hit you in the ass on the way out, making the third commissioner departing this week. Oh, they got a problem over there. The Democratic commissioner announced her last day in a statement on Friday. Goldsmith Romero previously said in February she planned to leave following the confirmation of Trump. Biatch. The CFTC's role in regulating crypto has been significant and will continue as lawmakers work on legislation. This is what he said. It's been a privilege and joy to work with my... Oh, God, some canned bullshit statement. Either way, remember, Caroline Pham also announced plans to leave. Basically, you got a lot of people leaving the CFTC, and let's be honest here. When you have a big shift in presidential policy, in politics, you're going to see a lot of people leave at these big organizations. They only got 2 people left now at the CFTC in the big spots, so we got to fill those roles. Now on to the big news. Senator John Thune moves forward with cloture filing on the Genius Act, setting up a Monday evening vote. Now here's what the whole cloture means, okay? If they approve the cloture vote, what happens is this, that it then goes to the floor for debate. What happened last time was they didn't even have the votes for it to go to debate. They've rewritten the bill a few times, basically making it so that big companies like Meta, non-financial companies, can't make their own stable coins. Why? Because they want to make sure that like privacy and shit like that gets protected for customers. Yeah, Coinbase, way to screw that up for us. That's the big news right now. There are a whole bunch of quotes from senators out there saying, yo, we think we can make this happen. Revised Genius stablecoin bill heads to the Senate, bars big tech from issuing tokens. Now, the big deal is this though, okay? You still got haters out there like Warren that are going to be like, no, we don't think this is cool. One such crypto supporter claims sources within the U.S. government speculated that the Senate would pass the bill in the 3rd week of May. So what they're sitting here is this. They're going to do the whole cloture pass. Then they're going to debate it. They're going to pass it in the Senate. But then that has to go to the House. What they're thinking, though, is it might take some debate in the House. So it might take a few months even to get through the House. According Elizabeth Warren's resistance and some Capitol Hill staff members could lead to modifications of the bill, but they think it could still be passed. Supporters of the Genius Act core features aiming to refine the banking and finance sector. He considers it a legislative model would deploy cryptocurrency as a tool to level the playing field for small businesses. According to the crypto analyst, besides creating a level playing field for ground participants in banking and finance, the upcoming legislation would boost President Trump's plan for making the U.S. a global leader in crypto. Now, here's the deal, though. Wow, the aforementioned analyst predicts the U.S. Senate might pass the Genius Act in the third week of May. Pro-crypto Senator Cynthia Lummis extends the target by 1 week. Lummis thinks that the debate might even go further and says, you know what? Memorial Day might be the deadline for the bill's passage, saying that Senator Gillibrand also agrees. Meanwhile, other lawmakers, including Congressman French Hill, who's on the House Financial Services Committee. Now, we're talking about the House again. How it works in the United States is this. Once it passes the Senate, right? If the bill originates in the Senate and passes, it then goes to the House. So, French Hill, who chairs the House Financial Services Committee, reserves a more open-ended time frame, but agrees the bill is moving in the right direction. He expects both the Genius Act and related financial market structure bills to be ready for the president's signature before the August recess. So, we got a little bit of time built in. Now, that doesn't mean they can't pass the Genius Act sooner. But what they're saying is, look, that version can go through the Senate. Now, if the House makes a whole bunch of changes to it, what would happen is this. The House would then vote on that, would then kick that version of the bill back to the Senate, and then the Senate would have to vote on that version. Paul Barron. My DC sources indicate that the Genius Act could be passed next week. Clear efforts by Warren and key staff members on the Hill have been made to thwart this legislation. Yes, there will be changes to the bill, but the core stablecoin legislation to refine the banking and finance industry is already here. So, are we going to have a juicy Monday? Well, you better hit that notification bell so you don't miss out, because you know I'm going to be bringing you the news, whether it's good, bad, happy, or sad. Volume is still holding up, though, everyone. We're at 113 billion right now on this Friday. Happy Friday to you all, by the way. Altcoins, we're doing okay. We're at 27 out of 100. We were doing better with that, but, you know, we kind of slipped a little bit. Why? BTC held its strength. BTC's holding at 103,000, while the rest of the market kind of peeled back from some of the highs. Some of our favorites like XRP, XLM, and Sol kind of pulled back some of their price action. XRP got pounded a little bit more. Why? Because Torres is being a biznacho. That's what happens. Institutional money is still flowing into the market, albeit a little bit less than what we saw at the end of April, but money is still flowing in. So overall, what's the big news? We had another crypto hater leaving the CFTC, and Monday evening, we get a cloture vote for the Genius Act, which means what? It goes to the floor for debate if that gets passed. It doesn't mean that the Genius Act passes. It means that if they vote yes for cloture, then that means we get to actually debate it on the floor. And if the debate goes good, then we get to vote for the Genius Act. And if that passes, then the House gets to debate it. And then if the House likes it, well, then they vote on it. And then if they vote on it without any modifications, then El Presidente gets to vote on it, and then we're good. But remember, if the House modifies it, then it goes back to the Senate for them to agree on the modifications, and then it goes to El Presidente. Whew, what a crazy system we got here in Los Estados Unidos. Yeah, I'm going back to Guatemala at least once more this year, probably twice more, and most likely 3 times more this year. Why? Because I had so much frickin' fun in Guate. So you think Warren and her friends are going to be kicking and screaming on Monday? Now here's the crappy part though, okay? So, Warren may not be able to stop this after all. But remember, there were 2 Republican senators that did not give us support on this because of the whole big business thing, and that was the modification made to the bill. Now, we did lose some Democratic senator support, and hopefully we gain their support. We're going to find out what that cloture vote, and I will be giving you the updates in regards to that. Then it goes to the House. The thing is, I think the House thing is going to be easier than the Senate. The Senate is a lot tighter margin than the House, and then El Presidente gets to sign it. But we got to get it through the Senate first, and that happens on Monday night. Now, what are my expectations for this weekend? The reality is I expect this to be a pretty quiet weekend. And I know. It's fun when it's hot, spicy, and naughty for crypto markets on the weekend. But the reality is I don't think we're going to get that every weekend. Last weekend was freaking awesome. The thing is this. If we don't go backwards and we at least maintain 240 price-wise with XRP, if we can at least keep Bitcoin above 102,000, I think we'll consider it a win, right? I already talked about my volume targets that we got for this weekend. So let's keep our eyes and ears open and see what happens. But don't worry, I will be paying attention to the market. Why? Well, because that's my job. That's why I'm trying to earn the subs, and that's why if you like what you saw and heard on this video, you should drop me a like and a comment, because I bring comments at the beginning of the video. So choo-choo what? Choo-choo bitches, girlfriend.